Well, hello, here we are again, video part number 6. We're going from Ceduna to Border Village, which is just over the Western Australian border. And the highlight of this day's travel will be a visit to the cliffs of the Great Australian Bight and looking over the Southern Ocean. So we're right on the western edge of the Eyre Peninsula now, and heading a lot. There's not a lot to see along the roads, except for one very obvious point. A lot of them are just straight as gun barrels, and straight for 100 kilometres or more. This little town we're going to go through now, Penong, is probably one of the only real towns we'll end up going through until we get to the end of our trip. One of the things we noticed at the first part of the trip there will be some mine traffic. There's some mines on the road. Here comes a big one now. 4 trailers of ore going down to the peninsula for processing. We'll see a couple of those on our trip today, but only on the first part, because once we get past that, there's pretty much nothing until we get to the Great Australian Bight itself. We'll go off to one of the scenic spots and get some video footage. On this sign you'll see the Border Village where we're going to head. That's the end of our trip today, and the other little places you see along the way are usually just fuel stops on the side of the road. You can't really call them towns, they're just roadhouses, we used to call them back in the old days. Yeah, most of them appear pretty small, but with the fuel prices they are at the moment, they'll be making $1 or $2. I know they're certainly getting some from me. Now, running into these blokes on bikes, they call themselves the Long Ride or the Long Run, and today and tomorrow we pass each other a couple of times. They have plenty of regular stops. I can understand why that is. You get one sore backside on a ride like this. It's a long time on your bottom. So stopped here for a break, made myself some breakfast, a cup of coffee. Now it's time to get back out on the road and continue on our journey. This roadhouse on the right seemed to be very popular. There's lots of people and trucks stopped there, more pulling in, but we were all full of fuel and full of vim and vigour, and we keep on rolling. Now this was one of the first of several airstrips on the road. You can see the threshold markings each end, turn points and what have you. This is for the Royal Flying Doctor Service because there's no towns or airports out here, so for traffic problems, issues, accidents, what have you, sick people, they use the road as an airstrip. I noticed on my trip up through Western Queensland they had a similar sort of caper going on. Right, we're turning into one of the Nullarbor wilderness areas. So this is one of the many spots you can go into get a look at the Great Australian Bight, the famous cliffs and the Southern Ocean. Unfortunately, the video clips and photos will never do anything like this justice. You need to see it in the flesh to hear the sea, the wind. The wind is blowing really, really strong. In fact, it's blowing that strong. There's no way I could fly the drone up to have a decent look at what I wanted to do. So here we go. You can see the size of the bus up on top there, how big and huge these cliffs are. Just vertically straight up and down, and the lovely light blue ocean. The wind's blowing really strong. It's a pity we didn't have any sound on the recording because you can hear the ocean down below banging and crashing. I do magnify the camera a little bit on the next clip, just pull it in a little bit closer. It's absolutely spectacular to see. So leaving the cliffs of the Great Australian Bight, we'll head on a little bit. It's not much further now to the border village where we'll pull in and fuel up. This is the last chance for us to get a tank full of juice ready for the big run from border village right through Norseman, which is the start of civilization. So we're going to head into the Shell Servo here and pay $3.05 a litre for diesel and top up the tank. We'll stay in Border Village tonight and then head off again in the morning for the final leg through to Norseman and civilization. So as it's not raining at the moment, we'll get the drone up and I'll have a swing around the horizon here and you can get a look at the little village of Border Village. Just sitting in a truck stop there. It's a truck stop where the trucks pull up and stop. It's not officially a truck stop. You can see the ocean out there past the houses. It's right on the edge. And that'll be the old fella down here, and that will be the end of part 6. Part 7 tomorrow hopefully, and that'll be the end of the final trip video, tourist videos to come. See you then.